Cool. Welcome to the Find Your Audience Masterclass and content scheduling. Let me share my screen. I'll get my teacher voice now. So now that you've worked with Sinai for a while on finding your client, defining your clients, knowing exactly who you want to work with, and now you know that who you're talking to as well, and get your packages all sorted out. Let's find out. Let's get some tips on how to find them. Where are they, and how to find them, basically. So there's two main things that I use when I'm trying to find an audience, and one is advanced searching. Advanced searching is very powerful, and you can do this in the majority of the sites. You can do it on Twitter, you can do it on LinkedIn, advanced searching. You can do it on Facebook, on the search graph on the top. So when I'm talking about advanced searching and you know exactly who your ideal client is, you're going to use keywords that are related to your ideal client. So, for example, you're a health coach. So one of the keywords would be health, would be wellness, would be nutrition, okay? And also, you can also do searches on hashtags. I do my searches on #FireMe. I can put the link in a little bit later on and show you exactly where to go. And FireMe.me gives you, if you have like the main keyword for a hashtag, which is coaching, then it's going to give you all the hashtags that are linked. And for those of you that don't know what a hashtag is, it's just a group of conversations. So people use it mainly on Twitter, on Instagram, LinkedIn as well, and Facebook are advancing into hashtags. There are groups of conversations of people in the same niche. So if they're talking about losing weight or getting motivated or productivity tips and stuff like that, then there are specific hashtags for that. So like I say here, when you have clarity on your niche and exactly what you provide, i.e. your packages, searching for your ideal client becomes much, much easier. Also search your competitors. I mean, I'm not saying to copy what your competitors are doing, because you don't really know if it's working properly. All you know is you can see online, and it might not be actions and tactics that are really working. And I believe that everybody should have their own unique kind of differentiator, right? So, but search what they're doing as well, and attach to them. So, like for example, for you coaches, I am linked, and I like pages. For example, on Facebook. Let's talk about Facebook. I like pages from like Lisa Nichols, Gabrielle Bernstein. So all those big leaders and inspirational influencers, right? Does anybody know what influencer is? Somebody that is a leader, right? So I normally comment on their pages as my page, because that increases my reach, the reach of my page with their audience, right? So somebody that is following Lisa Nichols, for example, and can't afford Lisa Nichols, might look into yourselves to have some coaching with yourselves, you know, that it's not such a big price point sort of thing, and they can probably, if they resonate with your message and with you, they'll come to you just because you've commented or you've shared something that it's theirs. Obviously, this does not happen overnight. Social media engaging and visibility takes time, takes consistency and all that. So, for example, you might want to do some searches on partnerships and collaborations you want to work with. For example, one of my business model is partnerships. I partner with coaches, so I can my twist of things with their programs, for example. So you want to follow them. You want to see if the programs are giving their customers, their clients, the results, right? Approach them through social media and then do a face-to-face conversation with them to see if there's any synergies between both of you. Mainly there's two tips really to find your audience, is by searching, and then it's starting conversations, all right? So once, like I said, for example, for me with collaborations, once I've done the searching on which coaches I want to work with, I want to see their packages, their programs, what they provide, and then I start making conversations. So conversations can be on social media or can be face-to-face, on Messenger, on Skype, on Zoom, whatever. So conversation starters are a great start to know exactly what your audience is struggling with. So for yourselves, you want to be, for example, in groups. Doesn't matter if it's Facebook, if it's LinkedIn, it depends on your niche, of course. But be in groups for a while and actually engage with other people. Look at other people's posts, go through the feeds. So you have to allocate some time during the day to do this, of course. But go through the feeds and really be interested in what other people are saying. If it's a pain point that you actually can solve, then give your own opinion, advice about it. And this is how people will find you. The more visible you are in groups, in your social media, in blogging, etc., the more chances you have to interact and converse with your ideal audience. So like I said here, that when you find them, the next step is to start a conversation, engage with them on a regular basis, and this requires consistency. It's not just posting one day and disappearing for months and then coming back again. People kind of forget easily who you are if you do that. I understand it can be quite overwhelming to be on too many groups at the same time. So the content planner that I've sent you has a tab that is just for groups. So what I suggest you do, and I'll show you in a minute as well, and it's to just concentrate on 5 groups per month, for example, and create a series of posts for those groups. Once you've been inside the group and you know what the group is about, okay, and you've decided to stay with the group, try and create some posts that is going to instigate some engagement, some conversation, right? And the way you do this is just by asking questions. You can post that you're just asking a question and you're asking them to interact with you and stuff like that. I wouldn't just go into groups, my strategy with groups is to be present and to give value. And I've found throughout all this time that I'm seen as somebody that it's always there, it's always supporting. And they start knowing me and they start seeing what I know and what I can give. I've noticed, especially in Facebook groups, I've noticed that promotional threads are not having a lot of interaction. I mean, yes, they are being loaded with requests, you know, like, you know, comments, and I can do this and I can do that, I can do that. But people are not really taking a lot of interest, and they soon turn off the notifications for that specific thread. So I have seen lately, if you have a group or if you're thinking of creating a group on Facebook, I've seen lately a technique with promotional threads that it's, what are you looking for? So the admin of the group asks, what are you looking for? Do you need help with a project? Are you launching something? Do you need help with a sales funnel, email marketing? So, and I think that's better, because then people will respond to it, and other people will see then, depending on what you responded, of course, try to give as much information as you can. If you can do the job, they'll contact you. So that I've seen that recently, and it's been working much better than those promotional threads that come up. Okay, so also be respectful of group conversations, in the respect that every single group has different rules. So in the content planner that I have for you, there is a space that you can put, like, for example, on a Monday, there's a motivational Monday or planning Monday or whatever. So you can put all those rules into a space that I have in the calendar. And after a while, you know the rules of the groups, and you will know, after you've analyzed all the posts that you've been putting in, if it's a good group to stay in or not. And then I advise you to, if it's a group that doesn't have a lot of engagement, doesn't have a lot of interaction, if people are just looking to sell, you know, if it doesn't really resonate with you, I'll just advise you to leave the group, basically. So, wait a minute, where am I? So where can you find your clients online? So they're everywhere. They're online networking platforms, they're directories, there are online magazines that you can find them as well. Obviously, social media groups, as I said before. There's so many places that you can find them. You just... Again, you just need to engage with them and try and understand. This is a question that you can ask them as well. Right? Ask them, whereabouts are you online? I've seen people doing that already, and I have asked in some groups as well, where do they hang out? Do a little bit of research as well, you know, when you're engaging in the groups. So these are, oh God, let me take this out. There you are. So these are some online strategies to finding your new customers. So it could be on Facebook, it could be on LinkedIn, YouTube I've got here as well, Instagram, it could be anywhere, right? So basically, generally, have a consistent posting schedule with things that are interesting to your audience in the format that they like. So maybe some people prefer videos, maybe some people prefer images, blog posts, webinars. You know, today I was watching a an opinion from a guy that I follow, and he said that live streaming, in his opinion, it's going in a downslide sort of thing, because there's so many people doing it, and it's starting to get quite monotonous. So I'm all for variety in your posting, right? And you can do this. You can just for a month, just humor me, and for a month, just do different types of posts to see exactly what is resonating with your audience. Do images, do videos, do links, do blog posts, do webinars, do audios, do whatever, you know, just need to really have a variety of different things. Need to really have a variety of different things so that you can analyze what's working and ditch what's not. Again, use retargeting ads created from traffic to your website from your posts on Facebook. This is more like an advanced technique with when you're doing advertising, but it's quite effective as well. Join groups and posts, no pitching, helpful tips, tutorials, and inspiring stories. People resonate a lot with your story because somewhere around the world there's somebody that has the same story as you. We are unique in ourselves, but you know, we've gone through things that others might have gone through or very similar. So something, when we say it and how we say it, starts resonating with somebody else. Again, another strategy that you can use is website conversion ads onto a lead magnet or an offer or a giveaway or free download sort of thing. And as I have coming up soon, my webinar, like do a website conversion ad to a registration to a webinar. This is particularly good because you are starting to build your list. You're starting to build a tribe of people that want to know more about you. Okay, so, and this website conversion ads are very targeted. It needs to be exactly keywords and targeting interests related to your niche. Go live on a regular basis with helpful tips and tools and intended clients and customers need. So, yeah, go live. If you go live on Facebook, all these live videos can be repurposed into YouTube later or repurposed into LinkedIn. So when you go live, just bear in mind that that the video can be repurposed later on to a different platform. So refrain from saying things like, oh, hello, Facebook friends and stuff like that. Always have that in mind. A tip that I can give you for going live is always to have like a bullet point kind of card, you know, that you can just have some bullet points of what you're going to talk about. That is just give you the peace of mind that you're not stressing what you're going to say. Again, so make a series of short evergreen videos that answers your perfect client's questions with a way to contact you, said in the video, and in the end, also add cards. This is also an advanced technique, which is on YouTube. A lot of people I'm not optimizing their YouTube account, and YouTube might not be your platform, but I just wanted to let you know of this strategy sort of thing. Comment on other videos in your industry or niche. So commenting, sharing, it's so important because this is what's going to generate engagement. Okay, and use the power of your about section on your channel to make the pitch. So I'm talking about YouTube again here. On YouTube as well, on your own channel, trailer video, offer something wonderful that your perfect client needs. So, like with a call to action, of course. So live streaming, let's talk about live streaming, because this is how you're going to find your audience as well. So make a list of topics that you can live stream about, and do more of. The more you live stream, and I know many of you here have done live stream, and in the beginning was very difficult, but nothing is perfect, and with time and more practice and more doing, it becomes much easier. So questions to ask when if live streaming is one of your strategies is your audience on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube? Well, I think it is. Because Facebook's got live streaming, Twitter's got live streaming, LinkedIn now streaming, and YouTube as well has live streaming. I believe for YouTube, you need about 1,000 subscribers on there, but you can work on gaining some more subscribers. So another thing is, do you know where to send people to? So this is like that call to action when you're doing a live video. Not all your content has to have a call to action, but it's always good to either send them to your website, or send them to a call, or send them to a blog post, or send them to a webinar, something that that they can have more of you, more information about you, and you can gain something with it. And again, do you have content to talk about? So always organize your content. And we're going to look at that on the content planner in a moment, and I'll show you exactly. And also, what fears are coming up when you go live? So review those fears. I saw a video the other day. I think it was, who was it? I can't remember the lady. But she was talking about reviewing the fears and not reliving the fears. So whatever fears that you have that are stopping you from going live, try and find out the cause of them, and try and, how can I say it? Try and suppress and remove those blocks, because fears are blocks at the end of the day, and just remove those blocks and press that live button, because people want to see you, people want to know what you do, and people want to work with you. Blogging is, again, another effective tool for increasing the organic search traffic. And a lot of buyers, a lot of people read a lot of influential kind of blogging sites. So guest blogging is another strategy that you can use. Try and make a list of magazines or sites that your niche is interested in, or podcasts, live interviews, presentations, stuff like that, and try and contact those blogging sites, and ask them if you can be a guest speaker, a guest blogger. And also, when you create a blog post that it's really inspiring, it's really motivational, and solves their struggles, their problems, it soon turns viral. I've seen many. Some of the posts that I've seen that have gone viral are quite funny as well. But a lot of blog posts that I've been following for many years that have gone viral just because people have commented on it and said, "Oh, you've really solved my problem. This is great. I've got a friend that needs this." So they start sharing and it start going viral that way. Oh, there's me. Don't laugh. So, yeah, so online seminars, masterminds, referral sites, and advertising is another place that you can find them through. So this picture of me actually is not an online seminar, but it's a conference, and there are virtual conferences as well around. So let's look at how we can save us time and organize our day by scheduling some posts for consistency and increase visibility, leaving you more time to engage with your audience. Okay, so let me just come out of there. Let me see your faces because I think I'm talking to myself. Oh, is it just me and you, Louise? Okay, so now let's go on to the content calendar. So pick up the content calendar, and the first thing that I would like you to do, and starting from now, say we're almost in the middle of the year, July, okay? So I've put some examples here for myself. So I've got 26 themes, topics from July to December that I want to talk about. So I put my topics on the side there, right? And also every single thing that I have coming up for myself. So if you have sold any packages, or if you already have allocated work with your clients, just put it on your calendar as well. And not just work stuff that you should put on your calendar, but also like your holidays, you know, birthdays, bank holidays, you know, fun things that you need to do, that you want to do. So this year is just so you can have a visual landscape, what actually is coming up for you. So I've got seminars that I need to sit down and listen to because I paid for them. I've got project coming. And then I've got all the content topics, and this really, really helps me. It might not help you, but it helps me in the respect that I've got my topics. This is an A to Z from corporate to coach topics that I'm going through, and hopefully in the near future, all these topics are going to go into a book. So what I'm doing at the moment is talking about those topics in, you know, looking back when I was at corporate and how I dealt with it, right? So I've put them all there, and what I've done as well, then it's everything that is coming up for me. Are you going to put it exactly on the days of the week? So you've got calls up on your scheduler, for example, put them in here, because put the times in there as well, because when you're going to schedule your posts as well, I'm losing track now. So when you're scheduling your posts, you need to have a view of what's happening throughout the whole month, right? So okay, so what I like to do is, but I'm very visual, so I kind of like color code it as well. Look at your packages, for example. Let's talk about my packages. I've got 3 packages that I can create content around them. So I've got the Launch Like a Warrior package. I'm going to create content that is just specific for that package, right? Ideas for content, right? The content, dumping ideas into this content dump tab. It's just things that come up for me. So if a headline comes up for me, I'll just go and put them on here, and then I can either convert them into a video, I can convert it into a blog, I can create a blog post. So if you have the blog posts already created, you're going to have links to all these posts. So wait a minute. So this is where you're going to put the links that you create. So the links, i.e. From your website, if you have websites, or landing pages, or your opt-ins, or your giveaways, or your webinars, and this and that, right? If you have an image, you can put the link here for the image as well. So for example, I don't know if you know of a tool called Canva. I love it. And I've created all my Instagram posts for the A to Z, from corporate to coach, into Canva. So all these images, right, are going to support my text, my post text, for when I'm scheduling all this. Okay. Call to action, if there's one, when it's expiring, and what engagement you're getting from it. So when you do the post on Facebook, right? Let's see. So let's see this. Let's see this one, for example. Copy link. This post. Don't know what that one is, but and all you do is you're going to put the link in there, right? And basically, every time you click on that, if you have had engagement on that post, you know, say 3 shares, 2 comments. It just gives you an idea of what kind of posts are performing better. Now, this is the content dump place for all your stuff that you have, all your content that you have. And also, what I would advise as well is for you to go inside your, let's talk about Facebook, inside your page, and go Insights. And on Insights, you have a thing that is called Export Data, right? You can export 182 days of data, which is the last 6 months, right? Which is going to show you, so you can have page data, post data, or video data. So for example, you want to have the last 6 months of all the videos that you've done, of all the posts that you've done, right? So you can see which ones are working better, which ones have more engagement, which ones have more shares, comments, etc. So you can do more of. And also, are they videos that you can repurpose over and over again? Because if you do, this data sheet is going to give you the exact links, and you can share that post again and again and again, right? So this is what you can do. Also, to publish directly. So, okay. So now to schedule this post, you can either use a third app, which is like Hootsuite, like Buffer, like Post Planner, so many, Social Humph, And to be honest with you, I work with Hootsuite, but what I advise is always try different ones. Try the free trials on a lot of them. You can do a Hootsuite on 3 social media platforms for free. And once you're satisfied with that, then you can actually choose the paid version. Hootsuite is very reasonably priced in relation with others, but there's others. And I'm always saying a tool is just a tool and we have to experiment. On Facebook itself, Facebook does not like third-party apps a lot. So what you can do is create drafts inside your Facebook page. As well as now you can, if you have a group, if you own a group, you can actually do drafts inside the group as well and schedule posts inside the group, which is amazing. I love it. So basically, all you do is you go to the publishing tools on Facebook, right? And you go create, and you grab the link that we have there, grab that. I think I still have it. And you just Control V in here, and it's going to bring you the post. So if I wanted to schedule this, you can take this, it's just example post. And what you have to do is go on the bottom here. So if you press on this one, it publishes it straight away. So if you go on the bottom there, you can actually save as a draft. So what I tell people, whenever you do your compilation, your scheduling for the month or for the week, either be on a Sunday or on a Friday. For me, it's on a Friday. I schedule for the week ahead and sometimes for the month ahead, okay? So when you're doing this, save them as drafts and then go back in. You have the drafts there. You go back in and you can actually go then into the draft. Let me see. This draft. And you go onto the arrow down below and you go schedule. I want to schedule this for the end of the week. Friday. It's good at this time of the day for me. And then you just press the schedule. So what happens is, once it's done, it will go into the scheduling bucket, basically. So you have the schedule posts, and there you have it. So on the schedule posts. If you're really, really organized, right, you can schedule them all straight away. You just can create and then schedule them all in here. Oops, no, I need to write something. And you schedule in here, which takes you to a date page. Okay? So, for example, with drafts, if you have things coming up for November or for December, but you already have all the information, all the content, you can just put them in the drafts and then go and schedule them later. So if it just depends how people organize their life, sort of thing, their scheduling. Now, group posting. Please don't pay up. So this is really good in respect that, like I've got 10 groups in here, Facebook, but I just want you to concentrate on 5 groups, okay? 5 groups that you think your ideal client is there. So depending on the type of coaching that you do, you know, like for example, if you're a health coach, you go to groups where people are having problems with their nutrition, with problems in the belly, in the gut, and stuff like that. See what I mean? So if you're a spiritual coach, you go to more woo-woo kind of group sort of thing, and etc. So for me, I have two different types of groups. I've got groups that they're mastermind groups, they're private groups, they're the ones that are paid for a program, for a course, or are paid monthly to be in that group. And then I've got groups that are just for coaches, consultants, authors, stuff like that. So it really, really depends. So again, here is the rules of the group. So always read the rules of the group. And then just put them in here, just write them down in here, what they are. And for example, you know, if they only have one specific promo day that you want to be reminded of, just put the promo day in there, so you know exactly when to go there, but don't go just there for the promo days, of course. And this is, so this is all the different types of posts that you do, right? So you've got on the group content, you've got the different type of posts. So I haven't got any examples here, but you have promotional posts is the one with the P, and just, you know, value posts, right? So you have to have a good balance of those posts that don't have any promotional whatsoever. So this is just to, because sometimes we have like, at least me, I've got a bucket of different kind of posts. So I put them all there and then I use them differently in each group. I hope this makes sense, okay? So for example, if I created post 1A for this group, right? I'm going to put here, right, this post 1A is on this group on a Monday, and I posted on this group here, right? So this is just so you have variety between the posts. So if you post 1A on a Monday, post 1A on a Tuesday in a different group, and etc., etc. And also for Facebook not considering you spammy as well. And kind of slightly change, if you put the same post on different groups, kind of slightly change the wording, or add some hashtags, or tag somebody to thank them, stuff like that sort of thing. Just slightly change the wording on it. And here is just the reactions. What kind of reactions you're getting in the groups, because this is going to tell you if it's going to be worth staying with the group or not, right? It's no point just staying with the group for the sake of staying in the group and you're not getting any reactions, no comments. It's not going to motivate you at all. So I just put all the reactions and comments in there, and I kind of analyze it at the end of the month or at the end of the week sort of thing. And all these tabs here is depending on where you are. So depending on where your audience is, and if you're just starting small and just with Facebook updates, this is all where you're going to get, you know, what the content of your post, your link to the post. You know, if you've got a particular campaign going on, and if you're using an image or a video or whatever, so you put it all there. So it gives you like a place where all your content is going to be concentrated, so you know exactly, you know, which ones you can repurpose later on, because there are content that is evergreen and content that is not evergreen. What else? So again, the tools is a really, it's really up to you, right? So I've got Hootsuite. I use it for Twitter, for LinkedIn, and Instagram. Use it for Twitter, especially for monitoring. So if I'm monitoring keywords, so back to the searching, right? If we're searching specific keywords in our industry, this is quite good because you can do a stream that is just monitoring specific keywords or hashtags that are relevant to you. Again, just all the mentions, all the retweets and new followers and stuff like that. Hootsuite is really good on that because I can get like a visual, a visual tab of all my dashboard, a visual dashboard of all my my interactions and stuff. LinkedIn as well. I use it here. Haven't got any stuff to be scheduled, but you can schedule from here as well. But again, you can do so much with scheduling directly into the tools. I believe you can schedule into Twitter as well, although I don't advise because you need to do like a lot of tweets per day. But you can definitely schedule and draft in Facebook directly. So it's not like you have to go and spend a lot of money on the tool straight away. So you can have some time to just experiment. Okay, so, right. Do you have any questions, Louise? I think I've covered everything that I wanted. Was everything clear?
Yes. Yeah, it was. It explained a bit more about the things that are a little bit more complicated, but which is sort of, linking between the sheets and making it work for you. But I think it will make more sense once I start adding stuff in.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? You sort of, it will make more sense then. So
I think probably the first step here will probably be to go onto your yearly plan. It's all about planning. You know what I mean? It's all about having all your content in one place, right? Let me just stop sharing. I want to look at your face. It's just having like all the content in one place. First step, yearly plan. Have a look at what you've got coming up, all your packages. How many clients you want of package one? And when do you want them for, right? Because if you want 3 people on your package number 1 by beginning of September, you just need to start promoting beforehand, right? To get some people into that package. So having that visual plan of what's going to happen for the year, it kind of helps, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And then content buckets, like just dump to all the content that you've created in the past that have worked, that had good engagement. And, you can use it. You can still use it or tweak it.
Yeah.
And tweak it with the focus that you have now. And you can create more content around it.
Yeah, I think it's really going to help having it all in one place, because I've got by the way, we've still got Mira and Merelda are on here. I don't know if you can't see them. They messaged. I can see them, but I don't know whether you can.
Why can't I?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh yeah,
I'm listening.
Oh, I didn't know.
Just gonna go on mute.
I thought it was just me and Louise.
Thanks, Louise.
No,
I'm here as well. Not sure if you can see me. I can see you now. Yeah, Mira is still on the video off because the internet is not. So I don't know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any questions.
Hey, Sophia, I do have questions. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to post them all and then go through them because I have a few there. Those are all my questions.
Well,
you
on the
see them?
chat. Let me save this. Okay, in buffer, oh, wait a minute, go up to number 1. I'll make it bigger. When do you do your research for complex or new material in relation to content creation? So how do you make sure you have time for content learning, planning, writing? Posting is the easiest and part of the sequence, yes. So as I understand it, research for complex or new material in relation to content creation.
So really my question is, like, do you take a day out and then you say, I'm going to do all my learning? So let's say like you're reading a new material on social media, right? Or, you know, you want to know how to take this material and sort of make it what's high level, your level, to the lay person's level so that they can understand what you're teaching. So you're learning it, you're synthesizing it, you're creating a post, and that each piece sort of takes a little bit of time. So my question really is, how do you make sure, like in the one day, like do you just say, okay, whatever I capture in learning in 1 hour, that's it, and then I'm just going to start writing? So just, I'm trying to figure out what the rhythm is so I don't get overwhelmed.
Okay, so with me, when I do content creation, it's kind of different because my head is always going all the time. So I might be walking around on the street and something just pops. So I normally, what I do is I just get on my audio. I just audio it, my microphone, and I just record the idea. I've got notes on my phone, a notes app that I can either record or I can just write it down. So all my headlines that pop up in my head, I always put on my phone because my phone is always with me. If I'm reading a book, so for example, when I've got time in a day that I'm reading a book, right? And if that book is giving me some ideas for a post, then I just put a post-it on it and then I go back to it. Yes. So it's a mixture. When content comes to me, I just record it or I just note it, right? And then I allocate a time per day. You know, it's like I say, 1 hour per day just to kind of like get it all together, right?
Okay.
And sometimes the idea just appears in the most weird places, right? And I just have to write it. So I write it on a note straight away. So I've got all the notes that I can send by email to me, or send it to my Evernote account, for example, somewhere that you can keep all those notes and then turn them into content, into posts. I do post daily because social media marketing is my life. So, but I post like in the morning, just before people get up, because that's when they check in, at lunchtime when they have the lunch break, and then in the evening because they just come out of the 9 to 5 sort of thing.
Okay.
Okay, let's have a look.
So my next question is really, how do you get, so when do you create all the time, you know, to put in all those minute details like the link or the cross-reference or the number of likes and shares? And so if you also, there's a related question there that if you do the likes and shares, let's say you do it, say every Friday, do you just go back and update? Like how far do you update? Because you're...
Oh, every week. Don't be on it all the time. You know, you've got that link to the specific post. So if you, in every single post on the date, you can get a link. So copy link and bring it into the spreadsheet, right? Or bring it into somewhere. So you can click on that link and it takes you straight into that post. So you can see if there's comments and shares.
Okay. Okay.
You see what I mean? So it's not like I'm waiting for this comment or I'm waiting for this share sort of thing. It's not. And at the end of the week, I'll check. I check which posts were better and if they resonate with somebody. And also I'll make a note of people. Would they be ideal for me to connect with? Right? Just today, I'm just remembering, I did a post about a couple of days ago, and there was this lady in Australia that said, "Oh, I really liked your post." So I'm investigating and seeing who she is, and then possibly connecting with her and see how I can help or how can she help me, or if there's any synergies between us, sort of thing.
Okay, I think it's helpful to know that you put the link first. What I was doing was I was populating in the comment section all the posts, and I was doing it backwards. So putting the link actually sounds a lot easier. So that's helpful.
Yeah.
So my next question is about Buffer. So when I did Buffer and I typed up the post, because LinkedIn has so many characters. So when I was typing up the post, I put in for so many characters, but when I popped it into Buffer, Buffer kicked it out and said it's like almost a third less characters. So I had to almost redo every single LinkedIn post just to have it in Buffer, which was such a pain. So I just thought, forget Buffer for LinkedIn. I'm just going to go to the website and just do it and then create the link. So it kind of really defeated the purpose because I had all this content I had prepared.
And I don't think
into Buffer, it could be timed.
And I don't think you can schedule in LinkedIn yet.
Yeah, you can. In Buffer, you can. You can do, so you can do 2 for free in Buffer. So I chose Facebook and LinkedIn. And then now there's a new, and right when I was doing that was when they were doing the Instagram, but only for business accounts, right? So forget Instagram for a moment. So with just my Facebook and LinkedIn, which is where most of my people are, that's why I was trying to do all these program posts, because then I don't have to worry. I can go and worry more about the engagement. But it kind of backfired because the whole number of characters was not being, Buffer was not even accepting my post. It kept on saying too many characters. And so I had to almost redo every single post just to put it in Buffer.
Okay. So for example, on the module number 3, where I have the content planner, because I work with Hootsuite, I've got there like a spreadsheet with the amount of characters for the Twitter. So possibly we can do some kind of, the same characters for LinkedIn as well. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, so that was my only, otherwise it worked really well for Buffer. Buffer worked really well for Facebook. And then the other thing I found with Buffer is it kind of chops off your images. So, it doesn't show the full image. So I guess there's no way to get around it. So I've just learned to kind of live with that. But I wanted to mention that in case someone's working with Buffer for the first time and they beat themselves over the head like I did as to, why is my image not showing up? But it's chopped up and it is what it is.
Are you using the 800 by 800 social media image size?
Yeah.
Okay.
So so if I put an actual picture, it will show up. If I put a question, in the same template, if I put just a question and say my Meralda Rodriguez functional medicine coach down at the bottom, it chops up that image. So it's really strange. So if you actually for example, if you go to my LinkedIn post, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The images show up full. Any questions or any comments like you put on the image template chops up. So it only shows pieces of it. Yeah. But that's just something that I noticed. And then the other question I had was, if you have the reach going down, why would you use, so it's like, I'm not really sure how to balance that out, because I'm thinking if I want to reach people, but my reach is going down. What's the sense?
So Facebook wants you to stay within Facebook. They do not like third-party apps. And you know what's happened recently with some apps that's been divulging some data, personal data information about people, right? So now that it's even worse on using third-party apps. There are still some apps that are okay, and they have the agreement of Facebook. I use an app called the 22 Social, which is kind of like landing pages for Facebook. But scheduling apps, that's why they've improved so much the publishing tools inside the page. They want to keep you on the page, as well as, for example, native video, live video in comparison with links from YouTube. So you'll get more reach if you have live video and native video, which is when you upload the video onto Facebook page, yeah, instead of putting a link to Facebook. Try both and see what results to give you. But I've experimented before, and that's what I've been having. With third-party apps on Facebook, I'm getting less reach. So that's why I prefer to schedule everything. And that's how I did as well for a while. When I was doing social media management, I used to schedule inside the Facebook page.
Okay. And then the part that I was finding confusing is that we're told, just post, don't worry about the likes, don't worry about the comments. But then when it comes to looking at the value of a post in making sense of, should you move forward with this? Should you do something else? You have to kind of look at the likes and the comments. So it gets a little confusing, because on the one end, we're saying, don't worry about the likes and the comments. And then we're saying, no, but track the likes and the comments. Do you see what I mean?
So I wouldn't worry about likes, because I would definitely worry about comments and shares. Comments and shares for me is engagement. And this is how you get more reach, more visibility, more views on your video. It's if people are commenting and if people are actually sharing with their community. And this is how you get increased reach, basically. Likes, I'm not worried about that. Yeah, I hope it answers the question.
Okay, yeah, no, that's good. That's good to know that, just worry about more of the comments and the shares or the views or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I know that, for example, Sanai says likes and comments don't make a business, but and that's fine, and I agree with it. But that's just to tell you that not to focus on that. You see what I mean? Not to be waiting for it to happen. Just let it happen naturally.
Right.
Yeah?
Right. Okay. All right. I'm good with my questions. Thank you.
Off to bed, ladies. Oh my God, a mirror. Okay. It's 10:30 p.m. Cool. Go to bed. I think we're done. I don't know, Louise, do you have any questions? Mira saying something, wait a minute.
I just had a quick one about Facebook, just because I do need to start using it more, and because I'm very sort of used to Instagram, but I haven't dedicated enough time really to look at why, but I've had a few rejected posts with Facebook, and there's a few there's a few sort of rules, isn't there, with advertising of. It just came up with this whole thing of like what you can and can't say, and I think maybe because it was around mental health, I'm guessing it could have been something like that. But do you find it quite strict, or have you got any sort of like, sort of quick guidelines to generally keep to? I know it might be a bit of a big subject, but
yeah, Facebook ads is a big one.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But be mindful of, there is terms and conditions that I can say, some policies that I can send it to, but like alcohol, drugs, certain medicines that are made with like cannabis and stuff like that,
Yeah.
are really difficult to do ads for it. Anything that, how do you say it? Anything that deceives a buyer. Do you see what I mean? Anything that deceives that is not quite, but sometimes it's just tweaking the words, right? Some ads don't get approved if you put you, right, on it. Because you like, for them, you like direct them into a way that might, do you see what I mean? That might be deceiving or something.
Yeah, it sounds quite salesy, I guess, doesn't it?
Yeah. Ads that do really well, look at the image as well. Don't have 20% text. It needs to have up to 20%, can have up to 20% text, like logos and ebooks, magazine style kind of ebooks. They don't count for text. But yeah, so video ads are really, really good. They get really amazing click-throughs.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just like tweaking a little bit of the text as well. And don't boost from Facebook. It's really restrictive. I'll go onto the ads manager and do it.
Yeah.
So.
When you say video ads, do you mean, just generally talk, you just speaking on a video ad, or not making a video of images, or you mean?
So you can have a video that of something that you've done, but it has to be, I think it's around up to 5 minutes or something, right? Otherwise, and it has to be interesting from the beginning, so you have to like grip them from the beginning so they can stay until the end, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But if you have had a video, and this you can look in on the insights on your, for example, Facebook, go to insights on the video analytics, you can see exactly which ones are have more engagement as well, and those ones you can turn into ads.
Okay. Yeah.
What else with the ads? It's just like split testing as well. I do that. Split test on demographics. So for example, you don't put two demographics, don't put United States and United Kingdom on the same ad. Do an ad for the United States and do another ad set for the United Kingdom, right? If you're split testing on demographics, don't change the image. Use the same image for both. Or you can split test on the images. So use both demographics together, but different images to see which one appeals more to people.
Okay.
Because you're competing with so many others. So it either has to be really interesting and it grabs the attention of the person like straight away.
Yeah, it's going to take a bit of thought.
Yeah.
Rather than just boosting, you've got to sort of think about it, haven't you, for it to work?
Yeah. And if you boost, at least with some interest targeting, so related, again, keywords related to your niche. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks. Merida, are you staying on, Merida? Okay, so I'll just stop